Right off the bat to start March, the snow chances are going up, but deeper into the month's first week, a big severe weather threat emerges. And there is a really clear area for that severe weather threat area. I'm going to break that down through the course of this video. Anywhere you see the green here, and that's a lot of the eastern two-thirds of the country, that is where I'm expecting active weather through the first week to 2 weeks of March. The bullseye there through parts of Texas into Louisiana, expecting heavy rain and the potential for some strong thunderstorms there. On the northern side, we could have some snow in the first couple of days of March. This is going to be from March 3rd into the 4th, really starting the night of March 2nd here. That blew across the northern tier of the country, Michigan, Wisconsin into the northeast, a potential sneaky snowstorm coming through to give us some more accumulating snow in the northeast after several rounds of snow following the big blizzard that dropped feet of snow across portions of the I-95 corridor. Now, on the more serious side, on the severe side, there's this clear area that we've highlighted, really from eastern Texas to eastern Oklahoma, and then this anomalous area as we get towards Arkansas, Kentucky, Tennessee, southern Illinois, Indiana, stretching back down to Louisiana. I think this is a big time zone for the potential for severe weather into the first 7 to 10 days of March. We're going to be watching this area closely. This is all as the jet stream becomes extremely wavy, and this is going to fuel all of it. So still have the main polar vortex. It's hanging up here towards the Hudson Bay, but you see this ridge out west, trough in the east. That is going to keep things pretty active. Watch the change that happens, though, because as we also go through the first part of March, there's going to be big temperature swings finally bringing warmth to the east after that snow chance that we just highlighted. So the change here that brings that severe weather threat to parts of the deep south into the Mississippi River Valley, it's this out here. So we have this trough ejecting out of the Rockies, and this is going to light up that area as we make our way towards the end of the first week of March and then into the second week of March. And you'll see there we continue to keep that pattern with another wave sliding through that's going to blast all that jet energy through the plains to meet up with. You see that orange there? That's some of the warmer air that's already starting to surge back out of the Gulf to supply the energy that those storms need to thrive and advance. So, clear signals here that we are going to have a very active week or 2 weeks, not only of some snow in the north, but some big time severe weather again in the south. I want to show you something that has become kind of controversial in the weather world, and it's this graphic here. This is the long range kind of supercell composite parameter, and a lot of people bash it, but I think it has a reason for being here if you know how to use it. And basically, what this is saying with the darker the color is, the higher the probability of the accumulated supercell potential. This is from March 12th to March 19th. It is not gospel. It is not saying that there's going to be a tornado at your house or anything like that or a supercell thunderstorm. All this means is it's taking parameters into case and it spits out where it thinks the opportunity is for a heightened risk of severe weather, including supercells. And again, that's for the second into the third week. It's close to that target zone that we highlighted earlier. So, again, with that dip in the jet stream in the west, the warmth surging in the east, putting two and two together, that is meteorology 101. That is how you get severe weather. And again, the supercell composite parameter there from the long range CFS V2, that's a climate model there, spitting out that opportunity. And again, the meteorology is there to back it up. If you see posts like that plastered over social media, all right, yeah, someone's probably just trying to get clicks. But here on this channel, we back it up with the science and meteorology, and it does look like an active stretch, at least for the first half of the month. Now, with this jet stream pattern change, that also means at the surface, we are going to change some things big time. So, across the northern tier of the country to start the month, this is where it's going to be cold. You see the blues and purples indicating the below normal temperatures. But anywhere you see yellows, oranges, and reds, that is where it is going to be below normal. Let me move my head out of the way for my friends across the desert Southwest. Now, watch what happens as we get into the end of the first week of March. Blowtorch relative to normal across the Northeast. Some of the chill slides back into the West. So, I mean, again, Rockies and West, we haven't had much of a winter up until what, last week. But now those warmer anomalies are pushing back into the Northeast, and we can finally get some good time to thaw out. Even bigger anomalies showing up as we get into March 11th to 12th. And this is where I would really expect a ramp up of severe weather east of the plains because we have that building warmth. And now you clearly have a dip in the jet stream. This is as we get towards the 10th, 11th, and 12th. All the blue from Phoenix to Vegas, back to Salt Lake City, into Boise, Billings. That is that trough that is going to keep winter, at least have it return for a short amount of time, into the west. But as it ejects out into the plains, that dip in the jet stream, that is where we're going to get those severe weather chances rising. To put some numbers to these kind of blobs of color across the screen, I want to show you this. We're fast forwarding out to the 6th, 7th, and 8th, and you see back to Pittsburgh, even Syracuse touching the 60s for a time. Look at this. Wednesday, March 11th, we are back into the 60s, mid 70s in Nashville and Memphis. This is kind of the warmest push of air on a widespread scale since we've had that gigantic ice storm that kept the South in the deep freezer for a very, very long time. But nonetheless, as we are watching this going forward, not only does March start off active, but there is a major pattern flip. And again, this is just the start of a very active pattern. If you want to stay updated on all of that and get into more of the specifics as we get closer to these events as they happen, you're at the right place. None of that garbage, none of the other stuff. It is all science, it's all meteorology, how it impacts you, and to have the weather conversation. That is why we're here. I want to thank all the thousands of new subscribers that have hopped on board to join the team that calls out the misinformation, that calls out the trash that's on social media. We are so happy to have you and be a part of this group that's trying to take down some of the nonsense that's out there on social media. Thanks so much for being here, guys. Post in the comments where you're tuning in from, and I will catch you in the next video.